Guys, welcome to a brand new episode. Now today what we're going to do is I'm going to show you my old swing and then the new swing that I've come up with. Now before we get started, I am a golf coach. I do have the very good fundamentals of how to play the game of golf, but I am no expert. So obviously I know what is going wrong with my swing. I'm going to make a few changes, but I will be looking for a golf coach. I want to find a golf coach that, number one, believes that this is achievable. The goal that I've set out is achievable. That's number one. Two, is able to work with me at least twice a month. And three, I'm really interested on TrackMan data, flight scope, all of that kind of stuff. So again, he has to meet that criteria, or she has to meet that criteria as well. So I'm looking for a golf coach, but at the meantime, and also happy to video the lessons. But in the meantime, I know that my swing path, and for you guys that don't know the basics of golf, my swing path is 2 into out, which means that I'll show you anyway when I dissect my old swing, let's say. And I'm having to hold off my hands a lot so it doesn't snap hook, go left, for example. It's worked okay, but it's no way good enough, and it's very difficult to control the wedges. At impact, all my clubs will be de-lofted because my hands will be so far forward, so that's why I'm hitting everything so long. But I don't need length, I need control, I need consistency. So that's why I'll show you with my old swing and then the new swing that I've proposed, but I've put together myself, to hopefully make this a lot more controllable. The ball flight definitely looks better. It feels very weird, very alien, and nothing, not natural whatsoever. But that just comes with time of practice, ingraining, so the conscious swing becomes a subconscious swing, and that's when obviously you can play really good golf. So let's get into it. I'll video and show you a slow-mo of my 7-iron and my driver, what is my old swing, and then I'll show you what I'm now working on and how I'm going to correct that and hopefully make a straighter, more controllable ball flight that really is just going to be able to make my scoring a lot better. So let's get it, let's go.
Okay, so here's the 2 changes that I want to work on. One, swing path, I want to make it a lot more neutral. So it's in to out at the moment. I want to make sure that the club head is travelling at the target at impact more, and also making sure that the club face is not as closed at the top of the swing. So I've changed the grip on my on the club, so actually it's a lot more neutral as well. Because if I just changed the swing path, then all that would happen was actually I'd just start pull hooking the golf ball, and vice versa. If I just changed the grip, well, actually all that's going to happen is I'm going to push slice it. So here's the old swing that you just saw. That was a very typical shot. Start out to the right hand side and then obviously hook back in or draw back into the target. So as you can see, whereas the setup here, this is how typically I would set up to a golf ball. Very strong right hand grip, very strong left hand grip, and hands are pushed forward of the ball. So into out path, I'm pushing the ball, making sure that I hold off that release, and you can see it with the driver as well, holding off that release so the club face is open to the target, but closed to the swing path, which causes that draw shape. Now if the club face is too open to the swing path, you're always going to get a push slice, and if it's close to the target, you're always going to get a pull hook. So the game plan now is to neutralize everything. I want a neutral swing path, so the club head is traveling towards the target, and also with obviously the club face at the target at impact. Again, you see that driver there, very shut, very flippy, and I'm trying to hold off as much as I can with the hips, my hands, everything, so that I do not hook it. Now, because I've got quite a severe into out swing path, and because the club face is relatively closed, or I'm holding it off as much, it's very difficult for me to hit a push slice or that block. Again, with the driver, you can see me driving it out. So for the guys that haven't been with me that long in the channel, I had a massive push slice in the winter, and I couldn't hit anything but right. It was devastational. So that's why I came up with this into out, very held off, closed, strong grip swing, just so I could actually find a fairway and get some confidence playing golf. I feel like I'm there now, and we're now here with the new swing that I've come up with, trying to get that club coming up a bit steeper. So now all of a sudden at the top of my swing I can feel like I can exit left a lot more, which means that I'm not necessarily hitting a fade, but the club's coming down on a much more neutral path, which means the ball can start at the target and finish at the target, because now the club face is line with the target as well. So there's no side spin being produced. Here you can see it set up. I've weakened that right hand, weakened that left hand. There's not so much shaft lean, and I'm getting a bit more height. The reason I've been hitting everything so long is because I've been de-loft everything at impact, because my hands are so far forward of the ball. And again, you can see with the driver, that's the ball flight I want. This is what I want to have in the arsenal. So much more control, less distance, but a lot more control, especially with the wedges. You can see I'm standing taller, everything's a bit closer to the golf ball, and you can see the way the club, it just looks a bit neater. For me personally, it looks a lot neater, especially at the top, and it feels like I can just feel like, actually now I'm trying to hit a fade, but this is how severe my in-to-out swing path has been. I'm trying to hit a fade, where in reality, that is a neutral swing path, and that's creating this straight shot. Now, it feels very conscious. I'm having to think about it a lot, which means that I'm getting a lot of toe hits, a lot of heel hits. I'm just thinking about it a lot. So now I've got 2 weeks of grinding to build this in, so that actually this feels natural, and I can stand on that tee, and when they go on the tee, I'll be able to pull out one of those.
So they're the changes that I'm going to be making on the swing over the next couple of weeks. And you might be wondering, why have I not done these changes before? If I knew what was wrong, why did I not change it? And reason why is that I've just had 2 tournaments. Okay, I didn't score well in them, but actually I hit the ball reasonably well, because I knew where my bad shot was, I knew what my good shot was, and I knew my yardages very well. Now I've got 3 weeks till my next tournament, which is very important, because now it means that I can grind in this conscious swing that I have to really think about for 2 weeks, and then a week of trust practice, and then hopefully I can stand on that tee and feel confident in what I'm doing, how I'm hitting the shot, where my bad shot is, the yardages, and so on and so on. So got to grind now for 2 weeks, which is very important. I've actually got a weekend away with Ollie tomorrow, so you'll probably see the course vlogs for that. And I'm not expecting the scores to be great, because obviously I've just made swing changes. However, I'm going to commit to them. It'll be great practice, it's going to be great golf courses, so make sure you watch the course vlogs for your one links course, one at his home club at Woodbridge. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the golf on the weekend. Guys, if you've got any suggestions, as always, leave a comment below. If anyone knows of an exceptional golf coach that lives around the south near me, then obviously let me know as well. Guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. As always, please subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.